Hey, what's going on, my friends, and welcome to this mini energy update for about early November. I'm filming it on November 6th, 2025. We just had the big, powerful, super full moon last night, and right now is a great time to do what an old mentor figure once said that stuck with me, Brendon Burchard. He said, we ought to, if we're wise, celebrate our wins. Take time to acknowledge the things we've done well, the things that we are making progress in, and just taking a quick pause to acknowledge how far we've come along our journey. And he says this because, as you know, the mind doesn't really do that naturally, does it? Your mind is not naturally going to celebrate any of your wins. In fact, it's going to do the exact opposite. It will probably gloss over them very quickly to where they become kind of non-existent, a distant memory that we never think about, and all of our attention goes to the things we haven't done yet, the things we still are working through, the things that we haven't done well, our past mistakes. That takes up most of our energy and focus and attention. And then consequently, we sort of formulate these distorted, fractured versions of ourselves that become kind of our identity. And it can really skew our ability to make progress in life, to go for the things we want to go for in life, the things that excite us, the things that we're drawn to. We're drawn to them for a reason. We're capable of achieving them. We're capable of doing it, even if it feels far-fetched. But this limited, fragmented, little negatively biased ego version identity of ourselves can create the illusion that we can't, can create the illusion that it is far-fetched, whatever it is you want to do. And I found myself last night, as I often do, I will have a little moment with the full moon and new moon in my own way, most cycles. And last night I went out there because it was such a big super moon. I sat out there and I looked up at it, and I started kind of making these requests of things to let go of. But I quickly stopped myself because I was reminded of a Zoom session I did that same day, earlier in the day, with 1,500 people. And the main theme that came up where a lot of people came up with a problem or a challenge or a question. But in further examination, these people were just awesome. They were making such progress. They were badasses. And yeah, they may have had things to kind of work on, but I could tell they were almost not acknowledging how far they've come. And I found myself doing that with the full moon. So I caught myself as I was making these requests of aspects of my psyche I'd like to let go of or heal or resolve. And I cut myself off and I just said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, nature. Thank you, life. Because yeah, there's other mountains to climb. There are projects, unfinished things definitely within my psyche that could use some tending to, but that's true, but also come a long way. I feel different. Don't you feel different? Currently, for example, in my life, I have, as we all do, there's always challenges, there's always things going on. But one of the things I'm noticing mostly is that I'm responding differently. I feel differently in my body. I feel more at peace, having more trust in the universe, more faith, and consequently more ease, more peace. And what a gift, what a gift. Nothing to gloss over. It is something to celebrate. And you have your own version of that. Now, you're watching this video. Some of you aren't feeling peace. Maybe you're going through something. But even so, look back a month. Look back a year, 10 years. Where were you 10 years ago? Where was your head at? Where was your focus? What were you thinking about? What kind of habits did you have? What kind of people were you around? How much unconsciousness was dictating your life, creating these painful cycles? And fast forward to now. I know for me, when I think of my past self, sometimes it feels like a past life, even though it was maybe 20 years ago. It feels like I can't even imagine myself thinking that way, living that way, going through life in that same way. It's this crazy, distant, it feels sometimes like a past life. But anyway, I make this video not just for you, but also for myself, to remind myself how far I've come. Because what Brendon Burchard said about celebrating our wins and it being a necessary part of integrating into our character is because it can boost our confidence. It's like we have this confidence that we've earned through, you know what it takes, all the challenges, all the growth spurts, all the healing. Oh my God, all the healing, the emotional healing, the baggage just you've been facing. That has changed you, has given you a deeper access to your true self, and consequently a confidence because you've been through the dark nights. You've gone through a lot. Even if you're still going through it, you've been through a lot prior to that. And you have this notch on your belt, this aura, this wisdom, this confidence that a lot of us are not utilizing, haven't really taken it and put it inside of us to benefit us. So I wanted to make this quick video as just a little invitation to take but one moment, one full solid moment of your own attention and just recollect how far you've come and see how you feel. When I make myself do this, which I do have to, it feels pretty good. It feels good because it's true. I'm not asking you to inflate your identity. I'm saying to allow it to expand to its proper dimensions. Neither ignoring your shadow or suppressing it, but also at the same time, not ignoring and suppressing your virtues, your attributes, the things you've done well. If you're let's take an honest look at ourselves. And if we do that, I think there's a lot to be hopeful for. Because I can tell you, some of the things I've been through, drug addiction, losing loved ones, things like that, some of those times were very dark, and I didn't know if I would make it out of it. I didn't know if it was possible to stop using heroin. That was my drug of choice. And there was a time when I was so deep in it that I was sort of accepting that I'm probably gonna die young, because I just don't see how. It doesn't seem likely, honestly, objectively, that I'm gonna change enough to overcome this. Here I am 20 years later. It's like a distant past version of myself. And I'm sure you have your own version of that, something you've been through where you never thought it was possible to move on from, and yet here you are. So why would this next thing be any different? This next endeavor, this next project, this next leg of your journey, why not? If you can do that, you can do this. It's very good to conflate and translate your past accomplishments with the future. For example, I'm a business coach, and starting a business, creating a successful business, it's not easy to do. It's not one of those things that's overnight. It takes a lot of hard work. There's a lot of mistakes made along the way. It takes courage, it takes growth, all the stuff, And what I like to do when I'm coaching somebody is see if I can identify something they've done that resembles that sort of path. So what works very well in that case is if they're a musician. I'll be people sometimes ask about the guitars. I'll say, do you play guitar by chance? If they say, yeah, it's okay. Well, I know playing guitar is super hard. It's something that requires literally daily. I practice an hour a day, at least an hour a day. And I've been doing that for a year and a half, and I'm still not good enough to where I'd play anything for you guys. I'm decent at best. So, but there are other people who are masterful, who are wizards with it. And to get to that point, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of almost uncomfortable practice sessions. And if you can do that, if they can do that, why not this next thing? So take that, own that. You guitar players out there, you musicians, you dancers, you singers, you parents out there. Anything you can do in life, I can tell you this, is going to be easier than parenting, especially for those of you who have teenagers. Being in a relationship, if you're in an intimate relationship, that's also super, super hard. I've been married 15 years, and it's not been easy. People look at me and Patty, and they think, oh, so nice. And it's like, yeah, I suppose on the surface, but to get to that point, it's been brutal at times. Just so hard living with somebody and dealing with their shadow, and then having them see me in my like most vulnerable depths, the parts of myself that I would never dare reveal to anybody. She has seen, she has interacted with, and it's hard. It takes so much. It's so scary and so hard at times. But here I am, still married, still practicing guitar. What about you? What have you done? I bet you probably relate to a couple of those things. Not to mention your own shadow work journey, your own journey of healing. What's that been? Years, a decade? Some of you more? Look around at your friends and family. Look around at your coworkers. How many of them are doing that? How many of them are looking at themselves with the same honesty as you are? Probably not a one, right? Why? Because it's hard. It's so hard. People don't even give themselves an option. People have created this belief that they don't even know it's available. They have like tunnel vision on because it's so hard. And to have that type of awareness that you have, it would probably break most people psychologically. That's why it's not happening to them yet. Not you. You're attracted to videos like this, are you not? So anyways, all this just to kind of say, look in the mirror. Look at what you've done. Take that with you as you confidently step forward onto whatever this new project is, this new leg of your journey. I know it's the unknown. I know you don't know with certainty how it's going to go, but what you do know is who you are.